The girls, they didn't have a say in what I was going to do with their future and their education. If they still want to go to school or university, college, they can. But for now, they go by my rules whilst they live under my house.
Well, guys, I think we all need this. I feel like over the last couple of weeks, maybe even the last couple of months actually, there has been so much conflict and negativity on the internet that we all just kind of need a break. I mean, seriously, if you've been on Twitter recently, it seems like every single person on the planet hates everybody else that is alive right now. And look, obviously, I know that's not reality. I try my best to go outside, and if you go outside, you'll see people smiling. They'll say hello, they'll say how do you do. What's going on the internet is rarely a very good representation of what's actually going on out in the real world, but a lot of us spend a lot of time on the internet, so it can be a little bit draining. I know. Poor us. So today, I bring you a pretty low stakes video where we can all just sit back, relax, and point and laugh. Kind of. The video we're going to be watching today is from one of my favorite YouTube channels, truly. A YouTube channel that specializes in documenting people do things they probably shouldn't. Like the video we're going to be watching today, I refuse to send my kids to school. A video where they interview an influencer who has decided that school is not for her children, and they need to learn about important things like designer bags and how to do makeup. It's a pretty funny video if you can manage to, ignore the pretty serious implications that raising kids like this will have. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Bug Bunny!
Okay, we're not off to the greatest start. I really hope for these kids' sake that those are nicknames and they are not actually named Bug and Bunny, because those names should absolutely be illegal to name your child.
Right, breakfast. They're only 12 months apart, but they're like chalk and cheese. Hi, I'm Cassyanne. I work in the health and aesthetic industry and also influencing on social media. So I've got two babies, Bug and Bunny, they're 8 and 9, and then I have a new one on the way who is called Johnny Blue.
Okay, so, question. Are you aware that the things you are naming are actual humans? Bug and Bunny, I feel like I don't even really need to address that, but, Johnny Blue? That sounds like a character that would be in a shitty fighting game. That is not a real name. I would argue that might even be worse than Bug and Bunny. Like, is his first name gonna be Johnny Blue? That's awful.
How's an average day for you now compared to when the girls were in school?
So normally we'd get up and it'd be a rush all morning trying to get them dressed and waking them up, going to school. We don't really have a hectic morning as such.
Wow, God forbid you have to be a parent, right? I mean, look, I'm not trying to be harsh here, but let's be real. If you can't handle getting your kids up for school in the morning, maybe you shouldn't be having a third. It's really weird to me how so many people treat having a child as almost like a commodity. It's like they see it as this thing that has no rules, where they can do whatever they want, only do the things that benefit them that they enjoy. Like, you are raising a person. I mean, I really don't think enough people sit down and think about how that is somebody's life you are toying with. I mean, that is somebody's existence. You only get one shot. Deciding shit like this on a whim and potentially ruining your kid's life is insane.
So I pulled the girls out of school about 4 or 5 months ago now. I already knew they weren't going to stay in education after year 6, but the way that the schooling system is, I removed them beforehand. The main reasons were I don't like what's being taught in school.
My favorite part of this video is that she never expands upon this. It's like, yeah, I don't like what they're teaching in school. Math, science, history, those things are scary because I don't understand them, so I'm gonna ruin my kid's future. Like, what do you mean you don't like what they're teaching in school? This is not exactly a new thing, but I feel like it's gotten much worse over the last decade. Why are people so against education?
I believe a child learns more from freedom on the outside of school rather than sitting in a classroom for 6 to 8 hours. The girls, they didn't have a say in what I was going to do with their future and their education. If they still want to go to school or university, college, they can, but for now, they go by my rules whilst they live under my house.
Oh, okay, this situation is starting to make a lot more sense. You're just stupid. They can go to university if they want. Yeah, most colleges and universities will accept a 4th grade dropout. You're right. I mean, what? You took your daughter out of school at age 8. You're giving her no formal education. These kids are not being homeschooled. And do you think that one day they'd be able to go to college? Okay, sure. By the way, it's under my roof, not under my house. At least, I hope that's what you mean.
Is there anything you miss about school?
I miss my friends at school.
What do you miss about school?
Like,
You don't miss nothing about school? Nothing at all?
no, because I can text my friends.
So what's your favourite thing about not going to school? Can't be just your phone, because you're on a phone ban at the minute.
No, it absolutely is. These children are 8 and 10 years old. They do not have the capacity to understand what not going to school is going to do to them. Yes, absolutely. The fact that they get to be on their phone all day is all they care about right now. The fact that you seem to not understand that proves once again that you should not be doing this.
On a Monday, the children have tutoring and education, and then every single day, set days that I do things. I work my own hours, and they kind of work around me. So when I'm not working, we have education and then playtime. They'll do cooking, they'll do cleaning, and they'll learn about being domestic as well as an education at home.
Okay, so am I insane, or did this woman just admit to raising her children to be dependent on somebody else's income? I mean, that's what's happening here, right? She said she's teaching them how to be domestic? Really? So you're just fully committing to taking away their ability to choose their own future? You've decided that they should be housewives, and that's how it's gonna be? What a fucking psycho.
What else do you like about being at home rather than school?
Because we don't have to
Don't have to what?
Work.
do maths or do English or do science.
And what do you learn at home that you don't learn there?
Clean up.
I do co-parent with the children's dad. The girl's dad is fine with my decision. I think that pulling the girls out, especially their background being travellers, they do come out of education early anyway, so it was gonna happen within time. It was just the fact that I pulled them out earlier.
What? Their background being travelers? I don't even really understand what she's saying here. Is she saying that she comes from a family where children are pulled out of school at an early age so they can travel? Yeah, sure, that seems like a good order of priorities. I also like how she's talking about this like there's nothing she can do about it. Like, yeah, my family traveled, I wish I could do something about it, but no, I just have to ruin their educational future. My hands are tied, I'm sorry.
So after chores, the girls come up, they get their outfits, they're always matching. They get their outfits, they do the hair, do the skincare. They know about designer, they've known about it for a very, very long time.
This is Chanel, this is Louis Vuitton, Rolex, Tom Ford, Dior.
So I like the girls to have nice things purely because, one, I've got it myself and I know what it feels like to have nice things. And then two, if they've got it from young, they can't be bribed with when they're older or given gifts and feel like it's everything to them.
I feel like that is an extremely backwards mindset. I feel like if anything, this would just teach them that materialistic things are the only things that matter. Education doesn't matter, careers don't matter, just having pretty things handed to you is what you should strive for. I mean, right?
I'm a millionaire businesswoman and I dropped out of school at 14. I do believe me coming out of school early has had a big influence on the children. Reason being, I've had no GCSEs, but yet I've built very, very big successful businesses. Everything that I've ever wanted in life, I've managed to get myself off my own back. Already my girls are quite successful, so my bug has started up heatless rollers. That's well curly. Online, she sells them, she does little bits here and there. I'm very strict as a parent. They don't just get a yes mum 24/7. My will, there's stages in my will. So like, they're not allowed to inherit one house until they're married with a prenup.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. Now look, I'm not trying to discredit this woman's success or anything. If she's really done everything that she says she has, that's awesome. I'm not saying school is the route for everybody, obviously not. I'm a YouTuber. There's no degree for that. So if one day your children decide that secondary education is not for them, that's fine. But you can't make that decision for them. You definitely cannot decide that primary education education is not for them either. That is too big a thing to take away from a person. And then you have a will that says they have to get married before they inherit certain things? What could possibly be the reasoning behind that? I hope this doesn't come off as rude, but if you were rich enough to where you'd be worried about people marrying your children for their money or inheritance, then I have a feeling that you would not be spending your days doing interviews for Truly.
For people that judge me on my parenting, I don't really care. So if they've got something to say, I just take it with a pinch of salt, and then it's just a matter of proving them wrong. So the girls do get a lot of comments that are not the best of comments. People, like full-grown adults, comment on their appearance, what they're gonna be like when they're older. They call them names. I don't let them see nothing. I put them in a bubble, and I would never let them get affected by it, but like grown women are commenting on children.
Okay, so this is bullshit. Don't play with me, lady. You are not putting your children in a bubble by constantly putting them in your TikToks. You are not putting your children in a bubble by trying to make money and get more popular off of the fact that you are denying them an education. You are using your children to try and get more famous. Don't bullshit around. Don't say you're protecting them. Don't say you're doing what's best for them. No, you're literally doing the opposite. Keep your children off of social media.
My mom is anti taking them out of school. She does not agree with it, but obviously I'm the parent and what I say goes.
Look, I'm not trying to armchair to this, but this seems like some sort of really weird control thing. I mean, it doesn't really seem like the issue here is the education system. That doesn't seem to be what she's hung up on. It just seems like she wants to show everybody around her that she's totally in control of her life and her children, and she thought the best way to do this is to do this grand thing that nobody does, just to show how much she really runs things.
Life is about learning the negative things. For children, it's important these days, I think, to learn certain skills you cannot give them at home.
What can school give them that I can't?
Education. I believe taking them out of school because of your beliefs is right, but the timing is wrong. I believe they are too young to be taken out now.
Wow, a level-headed and understanding viewpoint. I've got to be honest, I really did not expect that coming from somebody in this family. Maybe I was too quick to judge.
For Bunny, for example, Bunny's creative and she's got a good imagination.
School would be perfect.
No.
That's
School is
crazy.
a box.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
thank you. She's being told you're not good at maths, so you need to do more maths. Why?
Oh my god, the whole school is a box argument is so silly. Doing things you don't want to do and having to face things that you aren't good at is not something you should run from. Why is she being told to do more maths if she's not good at it? Because an 8-year-old needs to learn how to learn. They need the ability to learn things. They need cognitive development. I mean, holy shit, you're really encouraging your 8-year-old to give up on things immediately if they aren't good at it? That's insane.
The same goes with Johnny when he's born. He'll go into education until he can read, write, do maths, like basic core things, have a social life, and then he'll be pulled out exactly the same. He's got to go to school. I can't have a dumb kid. He'll jump on with his dad. Yeah. He'll go to work. He'll earn money straight away. Do I ever see Johnny going to university? Absolutely not. If he wanted to, he could.
But what's wrong with that?
But I'm not saying nothing's wrong with it, but I'd rather him go down his own path.
My god, I feel like I'm really being kind of mean in this video, but I can tell that you are against education, lady. Let me get this straight. The life-altering path that you are choosing for your son before he's even born, a path that is pretty destructive in the sense that you can never go back on dropping out of school at 8 or 9 years old, is his own path. That's his own path he's getting to choose. The one you're choosing for him 10 years in advance. Okay, sure, that makes a whole lot of sense. But that's basically where the video ends. She sends a message to the social media trolls telling them to get off social media and live their life, even though she's trying to make a living off of social media. To say I don't understand the mind of this woman would be a little bit of an understatement. Well guys, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this parenting style? Do you think she should be free to do whatever she wants, or do you think somebody should step in here? Personally, I did did not even know that it was legal to take children out of school this age. I thought the minimum age was like 15 or 16 in most places. Now look, I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with dropping out of school. If you want to, you want to, and if you make that decision, who cares? But to make that decision for your children when they're at an age where they can't really understand what that means for them, that's not okay. Tricking yourself into thinking that you're doing what's best for your children and that you're allowing them to choose their own path when you are doing the direct opposite, that's even worse. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.